right, a big day here in Terrebonne Parish at Mulberry School. I'm going to walk out the picture and let you see they're still enjoying some of the refreshments at the new Mulberry School. And this is a big day for a lot of the teachers, students, administrators, and people who, frankly, have put this building together. It's an impressive building. We caught up with several people about the new structure, which is going to house about 800 students here at Mulberry School. Let's listen in to what they had to say.
Good evening. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. I am the former principal here at Mulberry. Mulberry community has been my home, away from home, for the last 27 years. I have seen many changes throughout Mulberry. In fact, my first classroom was a portable right outside these windows. It was a portable on this side of the school. I saw additional portables added. I saw the modular building come up. A lot of changes here. I'd like to thank Mr. Martin for seeing the need to give Mulberry community this new state-of-the-art, wonderful addition. Thank you, Mr. Martin. And I would like to thank the board for seeing Mr. Martin's vision, and now you see the result of that vision, a wonderful building. At this time, I'd like to introduce Mulberry's new principal, Ms. Denae Cunningham.
It's so exciting to be the principal of a new school with great opportunities here at Mulberry. I would like to thank Mr. Superintendent Martin and the board for allowing this beautiful addition and for us to be a part of that. The students, faculty, and staff, they're very eager to move in and to fill this building with learning and laughter. And I just can't thank you guys enough for this opportunity for this new addition. Thank you so much. I would like to please have Miss Mary Ogeron come up for our invocation.
Let us pray. Lord Jesus, you are the cornerstone of this school and our lives. Continue to be the foundation upon which we build. We ask you to bless this building destined for the education of the young. Bestow your peace and blessing on it and inspire its teachers, staff, and administration with knowledge and wisdom. We pray that the students may grasp, retain, and put into practice the lessons that are taught throughout their lives. We ask that you bid your angels to keep guard here, to drive away all power of the enemy and keep all safe from harm. May we always keep you at the center of our hearts and lives as we journey onward through life, never forgetting what we have learned. Lord, we ask this in your name. Amen.
I'd like to start with introducing my fellow board members who are here tonight. Mr. Michael Lagarde, District 5. Mr. Matthew Ford, District 3. Ms. Debbie Benoit, District 4. Ms. Stacy Soleil, District 5. Mr. Clyde Hamner, District 6. Mr. Roger Dale DeHart, District 7. I also would like to introduce our Senator, Big Mike Feasy. Where are you? There we go. And Mr. Mark Black from the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government. I just have a few short words. Good evening. I'm so glad to see everyone here and having such a good turnout. Mr. Harding wants me to give you his regards and his regrets for not being able to be here tonight. He is our board president. We are so pleased that this long-awaited and much-needed expansion is finally a reality. It will be accepting students this fall. Also, that the remodeling of the existing building is well on the way. This, the first ribbon cutting, gives us the hope for a bright new future in our district, not only just at Mulberry, but across the whole district as we continue to recover from the ravages of Hurricane Ida. Our goals, as they've always been, continue to provide our students with the best and most effective learning environment that we possibly can. Can't wait to see those Mulberry students, administration, faculty, and staff fill this building of stone, metal, and glass and bring it to life with the joys of learning and the experiences that are waiting for them there. My best to you all. I hope you have a wonderful opening of a school and an awesome year. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
At this time, we would please like to welcome Superintendent Philip Martin.
Good evening. Let me begin by introducing some people that we're very glad to have with us. Sheriff Saunier, Sheriff of Terrebonne Parish, we're certainly pleased to have him here. Mr. Harding, Terrebonne Parish Councilman, certainly glad to have you here. The Terrebonne Parish Schools have been very fortunate in that all branches of government, from the parish council, the parish president, to the sheriff, to the district attorney, to the school system, the school board, we always work together, and we've never had feuds and fights and arguments, and we support one another, and that's been very, very beneficial to our school system. We appreciate that. The staff members that are here, I certainly want to introduce them. Let me begin by introducing Superintendent Bubba Ogeron. I'm officially retiring Thursday, but I have to confess I've been practicing about a month now, and I'm getting pretty good at it. I think it's going to work out just fine. Bubba is going to be an amazing school leader, and we're very fortunate to have him. Ms. Becky Bro, our CFO. Ms. Bro kind of coordinates everything like this and everything that's not directly connected to education. All those tasks that she does, we don't know what we would do if we don't have somebody. I guess it takes a lady to get all the details done. Guys kind of get the big picture, but and I see the ladies going, yeah, that's right. Yep. Mr. Mark Torbett, secondary supervisor. Mark is here somewhere, back in the back. Mr. Sammy Poinson. Mr. Poinson is here. He's our plant operations manager. Sammy's the one that everybody fusses at when the air conditioner's broken. And sometimes it's me doing the fussing. Mr. Chris Babin. Chris is our guru of technology. He's been working with me all afternoon trying to transfer a phone number, my cell phone number that I've used for the last 20 years. I want to keep it. It sounds like that's an easy thing to do. If Chris wouldn't have been there, I'd have never got it done. Mr. Curtis Castranchit, our risk manager. Curtis. And Miss Monica Walters, our food service supervisor. Also, I want to introduce the people who are instrumental in the direct building of this wonderful addition. The architect's firm of Mr. Merlin Learitt. Merlin, are you here? And Shelley Olivier has been involved with so many projects. I know Shelley's here. I saw her earlier. We want to introduce her. And Thompson Construction was the general contractor for this facility. And I think that's Mr. Patrick Gary is here. The many things we do in education, perhaps most things we do in education, are not tangible. And education is something that's valuable and can result in tangible things, but the education itself is not tangible. You have a hard time picking it up, looking at it, and holding it. One of the reasons I like being part of, and I feel it's such a rewarding experience for us all, with you're building a school, it's tangible, it's real, it's used. You see the benefit of it every day. I want to thank the school board for approving this project. And I want the public to know that the projects we've done, and Shelley reminded me, we've done H.L. Bourgeois, Grand Calumet, South Down, and now this one, and we have not gone to the public and asked for more money. We've done this within our budgets, and that's a huge compliment to the school board. It doesn't happen that way in most places. So we have these magnificent buildings, and there's still more to come. We know Hurricane Ida kind of added a little bit of unwanted building stuff, but that's going to be happening. This building, as you tour it, the cafeteria it's almost finished, but they've asked us not to go in there. I walked in, the first thing I noticed was like, it's immense. It's 4 times this size of the room we're in. So, and I said, one thing you never have is too big, a storage shed or a cafeteria. It's impossible to have one too big. So the planning on that was very well done. There are 18 classrooms plus a band hall, this area we're in. And if you notice, what Mulberry has never had, and it's always been a nightmare, is an unloading and loading area that it's covered, it's paved, there's entrance, there's exits. It won't be, my grandkids came here, and my wife used to come pick them up, and she'd come home every day and fuss at me about the traffic. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Make the cars vanish? But it has been a point of aggravation for a lot of people. So that is going to be helped tremendously. Not to mention, the most significant part is the kids who will be in this building. You know, if you don't think it makes a difference, you just don't know, you haven't been around long, but you know, the environment that children are in influences them, and the environments that adults are in influence them in positive ways or negative ways. This building will have a positive influence on our faculty and on our kids. So I am very pleased to have been a small part of that tangible aspect of a child's education. It's because it's so lasting. You know, schools, we have many schools that are over 100 years old, so it's not something that you build today and tomorrow you throw it away and start over. They're here for a long time. So we're very proud of this facility as you tour it. I think you will share in that pride and excitement that we share. And I was speaking to the senator earlier. If you don't know, his daughter is principal here. And I said, Senator, you must be proud because, you know, I'm a daddy. And I knew the answer. Well, of course I'm proud to be principal of such a fine school. And we're proud of Denae, but not as proud as Daddy is, I know. So with that, I'll ask Superintendent Ogeron to say a few words. I'm glad you are here. I'm glad to be a part of this. And I know there are bigger and better things down the road for all of Terrebonne Parish. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. We're excited. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't it a beautiful building? So much about it that I love, but there's something about tying the new to the old, this corridor here that just kind of brings the two spaces together. That's a fabulous feature. So thank you, Shelley and Merlin, for the design. And Merlin, also thank you for updating and keeping the board posted on a regular basis. We always knew kind of what was coming, where we were at, what phase. And thank you, Thompson, for having it ready for August. We were kind of always worried about that, but it's ready. That's a beautiful thing. And he said about a week and a half for the cafeteria, so that's all coming. A few delays there, but ready to go. So we're excited to get kids in here, right, Denae? Excited. And we know that it's going to continue to just enhance the learning, having the space, like Mr. Martin said, for just greater things for the Mulberry kids, the teachers that come here, and the Mulberry community. Ms. Ferguson, I bet you kind of wish this would have been done sooner, right? Probably so. She could see it, she could probably taste it, and just kind of, I can't wait, and then she's gone. So you won't get to experience what Denae will as a principal, but it's going to be a fine space for you. And Ms. Oakland, thank you for that beautiful prayer. That was very special, but it being the cornerstone, which is powerful words. So thank you for that. Thank you all for being here tonight, and we look forward to having you tour this facility and just see how special it's going to be. Thank you.
At this time, we will have our ribbon cutting. I would like to invite up Mr. Philip Morton, Mr. Ogeron, the school board members, management staff, Ms. Ferguson, and Merlin Learett to please come to the front podium. Thank you.
All right, of course, the dedication of Mulberry School. It's been a long time coming, but tonight's a special night. And we have the superintendent of Terrebonne Parish. We have the superintendent-elect who's going to, while this is running for the weekend review, he'll be superintendent. So we also have the school board member, Clyde Hamner. Philip, we'll start with you. A couple of days left. But this is one of your dreams. You've been talking about this for a long time. You've had other schools, but this is pretty special, isn't it?
Yeah, this is one that's long overdue, and obviously we have to thank the board because the board has to approve all of that. Any project of this size. But Mulberry is a very large elementary school and had a bunch of portables that had seen better days. And the traffic situation was one that was very, very problematic on a lot of different levels. So We've provided a better place for kids to get an education, and I think we're going to help the neighborhood with the traffic issues they've been experiencing in the past. But I'm just very pleased to be a part of something like when you build such an addition to a school this is a really marvelous facility. Being a part of that is very gratifying, and I'm thankful for it.
And Claude, when you walk into that cafeteria, I know it's off limits tonight because it's not quite finished, but we peeked in there. It's pretty impressive. I mean, you could actually lease out and have wedding ceremonies and everything in there, so it might be a way to make money if it's legal, of course. But you got to be proud.
I'm very proud, but I don't want to take the credit. This project is a milestone in Terrebonne Parish school history. It's a long time coming, and it's the result of the previous board. I don't want to pay tribute to men like LP Bordelon, who was a board member for this district for 20 some odd years, almost, plus spent 40 years of his life in Terrebonne Parish school system. LP is not here tonight, but I wanted to be sure his name was mentioned because it was his hard work and dedication on the previous board that made this really possible.
All right, let me move over here. Bob Ogeron, the superintendent-elect. And when you walk in here, it's pretty massive. I was joking with Philip. Said, Philip, can you know how they do those little walking shots for TV? Said, Philip, can you sprint from one hall to the other? It's really impressive when you look at it. You got to really come in to see it, don't you?
No doubt, no doubt. It's like impressive is a good word. I like the openness of it. It's a space that I think kids will thrive in. Mr. Martin said it earlier. The space makes a difference. And we'd only hope that we could do this in more communities throughout Terrebonne Parish. Clyde was humble in saying that, previous board, but they did a lot of work kind of getting it to this point, seeing a lot of the projects through, or parts of the project through. A lot of decisions were made. But we're here, and it's going to be ready for August, which is a wonderful thing.
Yeah. And I'll come back to Philip because during your tenure, this isn't the only school that's been built. There have been several buildings built, all within the budget. So that's important. How did you pull that off?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Martin, and that's a tribute to the school board and conservative fiscal management. We built several schools, and we've not gone to the public and said we need more money. We've done it within our budget, and it's being conservative with your money, like you do in your own household. When you need something, you save for it, and you sometimes do without things you feel like you want but may not really need. So we've exercised that quite judiciously, and as a result, we're able to build some schools and haven't put the district in financial risk or burden the public with another tax.
How's the science room or the lab? I know you being a former teacher, is it above everything else?
Well, no, not in this building. It was in Bourgeois, however, we did that one. Yeah.
All right, we're good. Now let me move over and with that said, Bubba, a lot of people probably looking now saying, okay, we're next or whatever. He's done quite a few schools. Is that the plan to just keep this sort of going in the future?
No doubt, no doubt. And we have a facility plan. It's a study. So the study is the precursor to kind of getting some specific projects underway. And like Mr. Martin said, or Dr. Trahan said, the storm kind of is going to dictate a lot of what gets done next. So that's all going to be worked into this facility plan that's coming. We're going to start releasing some aspects of the plan soon. But the storm really kind of delayed some of the other thoughts we were having. So, but it's coming.
Yeah. And we'll give our school board member the last word. You heard it, more schools to come. I know now, later on, a few years from now, you can take credit because y'all going to be building new schools.
Well, somebody's going to take credit, that's for sure. But let me just say, it's our community. That is who gets the real credit because they're supporting us. There's been some ups and downs in some of the plans, but the final analysis, the community is supporting the board, the previous superintendent and the new superintendent. So, and that's what it's all about, building a stronger community, a stronger Terrebonne Parish.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. There you have it from Mulberry School, and I gotta say, I got called by Mr. Barrett here. I think it was, I don't know, might have been 10 years old. Me, Joe Waits, Mike Barker, peeling out our bikes in the old Mulberry School. And he got to me last, and when he asked me my name, I said, my name's Ricky Barker. My daddy's Dickie Barker. So those two got punished. I skated it. And you could ask Joe Waits and Mike Barker. That really happened. But it's a great facility. And joining us, Roger Dale Dehart. We're going to be courteous because Roger's nursing a bad leg right now. He's recovering. But you're actually the physical district representative for the school board at Mulberry. What do you think when you're walking here and it's a little different than the old Mulberry School?
It's a lot different, and after we renovate the old building, we're going to see some more progress about, it's not going to look like an old school again. It needs to be upgraded and, manicured, and then we get rid of this eyesore of all of these portable buildings. That's when I'm going to be happy to get rid of all of that.
But you've always been an advocate. You've always fought very hard for your constituents. Didn't matter if it was a popular fight or whatever, you've always fought for your constituents. So for them to walk in here and to have their children walk in here, I went and take a little tour before y'all started the program. It's impressive.
Yeah, well, Martin, I'm not going to try and just repeat what everybody said earlier, but this is the fourth school under my partnership with other board members in the previous board. The previous board had this project approved and funded, and then it was redesigned with the current board members. So out of respect to all of that, that's 4 schools, and I can tell you right now, every one of them I considered my school because it's in Terrebonne Parish. And I really firmly believe that, because no matter where you're from, whenever we vote on things on the board, it's for all children, not just my district. And I want to make that very confident. I kept children first. Mm-hmm. Some parents might not agree with me on some decisions I had to make, but I based my decision on facts what's best for the children, not for the parents or for me. And I've had some people say, you've been there too long. Well, whenever I'm gone, I'm gone. But until then, I'm going to do the best I can for Terrebonne Parish school system.
When you sit here and you look at this, and of course, Bubba Ogeron's taken over now as the superintendent, and Philip's been here for a few buildings now. Bubba's got some rebuilds now to do as far as schools that were damaged or destroyed by Hurricane Ida. Yeah. So it does throw a little clog in the plan, but the plan always changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'd like to comment on that because it's very important to the public to know this, because we're getting little information at a time because of the amount of damage we have and assessment and working with FEMA and our contractors and all the people involved about getting things repaired, replaced, or fixed. And supplies are very hard to get. But I would tell you this, that right now in Terrebonne Parish, Mr. Ogeron and the board that I'm serving with right now and the future board is going to have some areas that we had in the facility plan before this last board came on. And this board that I serve with today, I'm pleased to announce that they had a facility study too. But that hurricane knocked it out of whack for both of them, okay? But the plan, there's some plans where we can beautify a bunch of other schools, not just for looks, for the academic reason. And keeping communities together, that's important to me. Mm-hmm. So on the east side, I guarantee you, I can tell you right now what I would love to do if I had the magic wand. And like I say, the funding source, we would have the funding source, because now we're fixing things that is real old because we have no other choice. Mm-hmm. But this platooning we did at the 2 high schools was very detrimental to all of our students that was going there. They lost instruction. Our employees work twice as hard to try and do what they can. But under the circumstances, we got to, in our parish, we've had multiple hurricanes. And I've experienced flooding down in the Grand Caille area and tornadoes that hit Ellender and the roof at Grand Caille Middle School. And right now, we have some unknowns, but I guarantee we have some things in works. We have property vacant that we can rebuild on, instead of repairing 2 schools at one time, whenever we get more facts in. So I'm not here to tell you we have a perfect plan right now, but we have a lot of data that, because of the hurricane, it's going to be itemized and calculated on what the cost can be, because sometimes cost is too expensive to repair. It pays you to build a new one. And that's what I'm here. I'm hoping I'm still here to be able to provide the input that I've learned over all of the years from the past board members when we had 15 all the way to the one we have 9. And I've learned so much that I want to share with each and every one. But whenever you have the facts in front of you, even my thoughts is going to be altered some. So I'm very confident Terrebonne Parish Public School System, we're the 8th largest school district in the state. And the population, whenever I got on this board in 1990, was 20,000. And right now we're around 16,000. But it's not because just a hurricane, but people moving, losing jobs, the economy and all of that. But we are here able to provide a great education. And what I might like to add on that, because we're in this facility, this school was the top A school in the parish for multiple years. And then they came up and they were still A school, but maybe by 1/10 of a point, a couple schools took their turn being the leader. And I'm proud to say that with Mulberry, every time we gave a performance pay that we were allowed to, for these schools that, to work very hard, and they all work hard, but to try and get their goals up, we used to be ranked around 40 and 50, sometimes out of 64 parishes. Now we ranked up in 18, 15, and maybe 10 in some areas. So we have been doing education first and facilities that are needed, and I'm very proud to be part of this school board.
Joining me now, Merlin Lee-Rett, the architect for this wonderful building. And Merlin, as we compare this to yesteryear, and these buildings today are a lot more spacious, aren't they?
Very much more so. Typically, past you had maybe 600 to 700 square feet of space per classroom. Now we're doing right at 900 per classroom. Hallways are wider because of current code and things of that sort. So everything evolves over time, and we have to adapt and make use of different materials for longevity and things of that sort. And so lighting, of course, LED, everything's LED lighting now. Security is a big issue. On this facility, for the first time, we incorporated some bullet-resistant film on all the exterior glass, okay? So that we have a bullet, you can't even tell it's on there, but we had meetings with some of the security people at the parish, and they gave us some ideas and recommendations, and we were able to get that as a part of the project.
If you go back to the first school you ever did architect, use your abilities for, and you get to now, I'm sure over the years you've learned different ways to improve on things and do different things. Anybody in business should learn that, but there's always something you can improve on, and you just keep building from that. Is that a true statement?
Oh, definitely, Martin. Yeah, I mean, one of my first projects, in fact, was in 1986, 87, was an addition to this school. Okay, I had 2 projects when the Blueprint for Progress bond issue was passed. One was here, one was at Evergreen, and so this is my second project at Mulberry. That was 87, and here we are in 2022. And so, yeah, like flooring. I mean, you see concrete floors, okay? That's one of the things that over the years, and with Philip's approval and concurrence, he wanted to look at something long-term and more that was easy to maintain. So in the old days, they had vinyl 12 by 12 tiles, and still a lot of schools do, but with this, and every summer they got to take them out, strip them, re-wax them, just take all the furniture out. Now all you have to do is run a wet mop on these things and it's done. So.
And you know what I learned about these, because I have a large building too, and when you have the concrete, it sort of regulates your temperature a lot too, I found.
Well, it does help out, that's right. So it's you get it. You can see we stain the concrete in the truck at the plant, so it's a solid stain all the way through the flooring of the concrete. So if it chips, it may show a little thing, but the coloring is all the way through. So it's good for the life of the building for sure. So.
Well, congratulations on another great job, and keep on building.
Thank you, Martin. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I will.
Okay, of course we've talked about the building itself. It takes so much to put these buildings together. They don't just pop up. It takes a lot of work. Shelley's going to sort of educate me here, because I made her educate me, because it's impressive when you walk in, but I was fortunate to drive by here every day because I live right in the neighborhood and watch it go up. It's a process, there's no doubt.
It's a huge process. Well, I mean, something like this could possibly take anywhere from 2 to 3 years, really. So, you know, from the get-go, you get a site from the owner and you get a program from the owner and you immediately start designing. And that design phase could take anywhere from 3 to 6 months total, you know, doing 3D models. And then once we get a design that's pretty satisfactory to the owner, we then pull in our engineers. So we got mechanical, electrical, plumbing engineers, civil engineers. And so the architect's job is to orchestrate all of that and get them involved. You put together the systems, you have to coordinate all of those systems together to make sure there's no conflicts during construction. And then the biggest thing really is assuring that the building meets, you know, the public life safety codes, you know. Because, yeah, we're here to build a beautiful school, one that functions well, but it also has to be safe for the community. And that's something that the engineers and the architects work really hard in trying to achieve. Once that building is designed and all the construction documents are complete, with the state fire marshal and the parish officials' approval, we start construction. A project of this size takes about 1.5 years to construct, pending there's no hurricanes or problems in between. But at the end of the day, from the beginning to end, it is truly a rewarding process. And that's one reason why I like being an architect.
Let me ask you, Shelley, when you're designing this, I'm sure like homes, the wife has to love the house. The man just has to love the man cave he's going to get. The wife has to love the house. The kids have to really enjoy the house. When y'all are meeting with superintendents and school board officials and everybody else, you got to sell them all, don't you?
Yes, in a way you do. But everyone that's involved in the team knows their role. No one oversteps anybody. Now, at the end of the day, the owner's responsible in giving you a site, a program, and a budget. And during the process, you know, you design the building, you present the ideas to them, they talk about it, they might make some revisions. And then once they approve that, we move forward with the drawings, and then we go through another review process with all of them. And it's a team effort again, and they should have input too. So they'll help pick finishes, colors, the fun stuff, because it should be a fun process, right? It's long and it can be stressful, but it should be fun. And everyone that we've worked here with the school board and all of our consultants, they love what they do, and so it makes our job more enjoyable.
And also this corridor we're standing in connects to the old school. This new building sort of dwarfs the old school, but y'all have plans for that one too. Are you involved in that too?
Yes, we've actually already put together all the drawings for the renovation of that school. Because this school has a large cafeteria to accommodate the entire population, the existing cafeteria will be turned into a bigger library and also add 2 additional classrooms. I mean, I think they were at 900 student population. You know, I don't know if you want to quote me on that. That's a lot of kids. So adding more classrooms in the existing building is just as important as having a bigger cafeteria.
All right, joining me now, the principal at Mulberry, Denae Cunningham. She's been principal for 10 days now. So what a beautiful, we'll walk towards the camera and just let people envision this hallway. But you get lucky and you get a new building. That's got to be impressive to you.
It is. It's very impressive, very exciting. I know our students and teachers are eager to get into the building and enjoy this new addition.
Yeah. And I think somebody said it, maybe Bell said it or somebody, but it does lend itself to learning. When you're here, it does lend itself to wanting to get to the task, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We have new Promethean panels coming in that are touchscreen for the kids for interactive learning. The windows just add a great environment for the kids for learning. It's just overall beautiful.
And I had to look at the floors as we walk a little more. And you know what I always do? I always go touch the bricks to see the texture of it, but the floors are impressive. We talked with Merlin about that, and tell you, Mulberry's come a long way with the old building, but they're telling me the old building is going to be transformed, become a library and different things. So it's not going to be torn down, which some people thought. It's going to be utilized.
Absolutely. We're renovating it. We're going to have 4 additional classrooms and a larger library in that section of the building.
Yeah. So when they all come piling in, how many students now?
We have about 800, a little over 800 kids.
That's a large number.
That's a large number, yes.
So you think they're going to be pretty impressed with their new dibs over here?
Absolutely. They kept begging me for tours at the end of last year, so they will be super impressed.
All right, Denae. There you have it. Denae's the new principal here. By 10 days, she gets a new school, and all those former principals who were here tonight crying a little bit because they didn't get it, but you got the lucky straw, didn't you?
I did. Thank you. I'm very appreciative.
Thanks. All right, we'll be right back with more. Don't go away.